Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time around, it is exactly what the title says it is. Part 1 of my DVD collection. This is a series of videos showcasing the various different DVDs that I picked up over the years. There will be some new additions that will probably show up in other installments, but as of right now, I'm going to try to show the most complete and up-to-date collection of what I have amassed over a decade, at least. Um, I do have some other forms of physical media that I do want to showcase in other series of videos, but I felt the DVD would be a good way to start because I have arguably the most DVDs in my collection, and as a result, the most variety. So I felt it would be kind of a fun series of videos to do, a nice way for me to unwind, and also a way for me to get some content out to you, despite the fact that there are some days where I'm kind of just not feeling up to doing the regular routine in terms of doing a review or some of those other things. So let's get started, shall we? If I clear my throat every now and then or get a drink of water, it's because for some reason around this time of year, I think my allergies or some things act up, and it's just a pain in the ass. So I apologize. I'm gonna power through it. So the first title I'm gonna start with is actually one that I picked up recently, Psycho Goreman. Actually looked like it might be kind of a fun movie, and it was cheaper to get this at Walmart than it was to buy the DVD on Amazon or to get the Blu-ray. And then I also got a film called Spare Parts, another one that looked like it might be kind of fun. And now we're getting to the titles that have been in my collection for a decent amount of time. Now there are some titles mixed in here that I did pick up, I think within the last month or two, because I showed them in other recent update videos. But I'm pretty sure I probably showed all of these in an update video at one point. But this is a way to get them all in one fellow swoop, one series of videos, and just kind of a fun trip down memory lane, and also a fun way to keep track of how many titles I have. It's a good way for me to look back at things and be like, wait, yeah, I do have that. So then I don't have to go in and wind up wasting money on buying a title I already have, which I've done before, by the way. That's something a lot of collectors can probably relate to. So we have Cold Harvest with Gary Daniels. This is actually a pretty fun mix of sci-fi and Western elements. It's a decent one. We've got The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. Fun sports comedy. Not one of my favorites. I mean, I've seen better comedies, I've seen better sports films, but it's still a fun movie. Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman are a good pair. You've got City by the Sea with Robert De Niro, Francis McDormand, James Franco. Film I've never seen, by the way. A fair amount of these I actually haven't seen yet. You've got City Hall with Al Pacino. Got Death to Smoochie with Robin Williams, Edward Norton, Danny DeVito. And another Gary Daniels movie, American Street Fighter. This DVD case looks like it's been through a street fight. I think I got this at like a pawn shop or something. We've got the special effects documentary, The Art of Illusion, 100 Years of Special Effects. This is a DVD I've had for ages. I've had this since I think since I was like a kid, like since I was like a preteen or something. Like I've had this forever because I'm a big fan of special effects and behind the scenes footage and documentaries. And this is a pretty fun watch. There's some behind the scenes footage about Demolition Man, Ghostbusters, The Abyss, Terminator 2, I believe. Actually, I don't think there is a lot of Terminator 2 stuff. There's The Abyss, Die Hard, True Lies. Lawnmower Man 2 has a big portion for some reason. Like it's some kind of big deal, which is pretty hilarious. But yeah, The Art of Illusion. Peter Benchley's The Beast, a miniseries based on a novel by Peter Benchley, um, starring William Peterson, Larry Drake, Charles Martin Smith. Got Cocoon, which I'm surprised this does not have like a special edition Blu-ray, considering it's a pretty well-beloved 80s movie. Got Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser and Elizabeth Hurley. I actually think this is a pretty underrated film. I've always enjoyed this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's very creative and witty. If you're a fan of Brendan Fraser, I definitely do recommend checking this out because he's really good in this. I actually like this a lot more than the original. I think that this is a better film. And I would have it on Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray is insanely expensive because it's been out of print for a while. Here we have another comedy, Quick Change, which I also feel is pretty underrated with Bill Murray, Gina Davis, Randy Quaid. Direct-to-video film called Free Fall with Eric Roberts, Jeff Fahey, Pamela Gidley. We've got a Mel Brooks documentary. Mel Brooks, Make a Noise. I like Mel Brooks. Big fan of his. Probably say my favorite film that Mel Brooks did is Spaceballs. You've got Kane Hodder and BTK. We've got Beyond the Stars with Martin Sheen and Christian Slater. Got a Mike Tyson DVD set. The Knockout Edition, which has 19 of Mike Tyson's matches. Got the Amadeus Director's Cut DVD. This is actually one that my parents got because they really like Amadeus. And I like Amadeus as well. I think it's a really good film. I would love for that to get a 4K remaster or a 4K disc because it would look gorgeous. Street Fighter, Assassin's Fist. This DVD is weird. I don't know why the hell does it look like it's stretched out? I know if you're looking at this, you're thinking like, what did somebody like just stretch out the DVD art to make it fit? Like it just, I don't understand why they did that. Because this isn't a bootleg release. This is actually an official release. Got a horror film called The Crypt. Got Patrick Swayze in Black Dog. Got another horror film, Borderland, from the After Dark Horror Fest. Remember when those were kind of a thing? Where Lionsgate would be releasing a ton of these 8 films to die for sets. Henderson Monster with Jason Miller and another monster and Stephen Collins. Got Blessed a Child with Kim Basinger. I think I reviewed this film on my channel. Pretty decent film. Decent enough movie. Directed by Chuck Russell. You've got Turner and Hooch with Tom Hanks. We've got The Brother from Another Planet. Then we've got 8 Below with Paul Walker. A Disney movie that is probably one of the more forgotten films that they've released in terms of the live action films that they've done. Got Scarecrow and Scarecrow Slayer. He cuts to the chase. I got this because it was super dirt cheap and for the collection. Otherwise, I would have not paid or really wasted money on it. And then I also got Scarecrow Gone Wild. He's the death of the party. Look at this cover art. This cover art is so shitty. And what's crazy is there are 3 of these shitty Scarecrow films, but there are plenty of films, if I can even speak English, There are plenty of films out there that don't even get sequels, that you want sequels to, that are really good films. And nope, no sequel. Don't get another one. No sequel for you. But Scarecrow, yeah, let's have 3 of those movies, and have the third one star Ken Shamrock for some fucking reason. Except we have Abominable. I have this on Blu-ray as well, but I decided to keep this because I heard that it has a different color timing, or it looks different than the Blu-ray. Speaking of looking different than the Blu-ray, Dog Soldiers. The DVD actually looks better than the Blu-ray. At least the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Like, how fucked up is that? And we have Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, a film that I picked up because I'm trying to... I guess I just wanted the Ghost Rider films, and I hadn't seen that film since I saw it in the theater. It's a movie that I tried to trick myself into liking, but like, the more I think about it, it's just awful. It's just a really bad film. He's clawing at the door! Ah! Just, I was cringing in my seat when I saw that in the theater. That whole scene where Nicolas Cage is having his freak out, and I was just slumping in my seat and cringing so fucking hard. Then we have a film called The Glow. I reviewed this already. It's based on a book that I read. It's one of those... Both those videos barely nobody has ever watched, and I get it. It's very obscure. Speaking of TV, here's another TV film, The Sleepwalker Killing with Hilary Swank. This was actually one of the 3 films that were aired on NBC that were based on real-life murder cases that were featured on the show Unsolved Mysteries. Like, there was even advertisements for films like this. Well, not films like this. For these films that would have from the files of Unsolved Mysteries, which I think is pretty cool. Like, there was Unsolved Mysteries movies, and this was one of them. Then we have The Spectacular Spider-Man, the first season. We have a film called Franklin. Got old school black and white horror film, Castle of Blood. We've got Born on the 4th of July with Tom Cruise. Really great drama. One of Tom Cruise's best performances. He deserved the Oscar, if you ask me, that year. Got the Pet Sematary remake. It was sent to me by a subscriber. I do need to get around to watching that sometime. Got Children of the Corn collection. Got this for really cheap back in the day. It's an Echo Bridge release. I think you could still find this for pretty cheap, but I'm not 100% sure on that. This is the best way for me to get all the Children of the Corn sequels. It's got Children of the Corn 2 through 7 all in one DVD set. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting the Arrow Video release that has the first film in 4K and 2 and 3, but I think it's out of print and it's pretty expensive, so I'm okay with the DVDs for right now. Because really, Children of the Corn is not really that great of a franchise. I don't even really love the first film. I just like it okay. And I do like the third movie. I would say the third film was my favorite. But even then, I'm not like, oh, I love it. So there's not really a single film in the Children of the Corn franchise that I love. I'm just like, oh, that's watchable or that's decent. And then there's just a whole bunch of shit with giant pieces of corn in it. Then we have SWAT Cats, The Radical Squadron. Really fun, underrated show. Really enjoy that. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on SWAT Cats, check out my review of the first season. Got Beverly Hills Ninja with Chris Farley. It's a fun comedy. Got a 4-pack with Operation Condor 1 and 2, Dragon Lord, and Twin Dragons. Yeah, this is another one of those cheap jack horseshit Echo Bridge releases with shitty quality, but I got it for cheap. Got George of the Jungle 2-pack with the first and the second film. I only really liked the first one. I find it pretty funny that you have on the back a maximum movie experience. Nobody is ever going to say that about the George of the Jungle movies. Yeah, they are the maximum movie experiences. Like nobody feels that way about those films. Got the best of Jeff Hardy, which is pretty weird because of the fact that Jeff Hardy just got released by WWE for refusing to go to rehab. I love Jeff, man, but get your shit together. Like, how many times? How many times are you going to run into this shit, man? Get your shit together, get your shit straight, and keep it that way, Jeff. I'm mad because I love you. I think you're a great talent. I think you're one of the best wrestlers in the business. And I just hate to see this. I hate to see you constantly falling off the fucking wagon. Maybe hang out with DDP or something. Come on, man. And we have An American Tail with Don Bluth, who directed it, I believe. And I think I might have that on Blu-ray too, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Got the Free Willy collection. I only remember the first two. Specifically, I remember buying the second film on VHS just for that necklace. And I used to like wear that necklace all the time as a kid. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. Like Free Willy 2 came with the VHS came with this necklace, like this orca necklace that the kid was wearing in the film. So it was like a replica. So I'd actually wear that a lot, and I would watch Free Willy quite often, and the second film. The third film I don't really remember that much, and I never saw Escape from Pirates Cove. The first film, it's getting harder to find, especially the Blu-ray, because of the bullshit surrounding Michael Jackson. I don't understand that at all. Like, why would you make it hard for people to get the Blu-ray of Free Willy just because of some controversy associating Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson isn't in the movie. He's not a co-star. Just one of his songs is in the movie. Like, why aren't there other films that he's featured in terms of the soundtrack that are also being taken off the shelves if that's the case? I mean, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like, he's not even in the movie. Why? It's a classic. People should be able to see it and buy it on Blu-ray and not have to pay an arm and a leg. You have Dead Rising Endgame. I think there's a one before this, but I haven't seen it. I only picked this up because it was super cheap. A lot of these I only got because they were super cheap. Like the Backlot Murders for the collection, featuring Corey Haim and Priscilla Barnes. Got Boot Camp, the unrated version with Mila Kunis. A few other actors. I think Peter Stormare, I think, is in that. You've got The January Man with Kevin Kline. I mean, look at that cast, honestly. That's a really good cast. Susan Sarandon, Kevin Kline, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. Got another direct-to-video action movie, Rogue Force. You know what's funny about this is I think there's like a couple different releases of this. There's one that uses the same cover art from the VHS, which is shiny and pretty eye-catching. And then there's this one that makes it look like really cheap jack and just garbage. Just a seriously shitty quality. And the back isn't much better. I love that back in the day, like the special features were that it was digitally mastered and it had Dolby Digital 2.0 stereo and it was in full screen and it had scene selections. Those were special features back in the day, folks. Then we have the Airport Terminal Pack. This is a franchise collection. And by the way, if you hear anything in the background, my parents are watching Lost in Space on Netflix. So that's what's going on. I have no control over it. It's just how it is. So we have the franchise, the franchise collection, Airport Terminal Pack. This has Airport 1975, Airport 77, and the Concorde, Airport 79. I don't even remember where I got this. I've had this collection for so freaking long, I don't even remember where or when I got this collection. Um, I think that's like the only way to get them in terms of like getting all of them, because I don't think there was a 4-pack on Blu-ray. I could be wrong though. Speaking of airplane movies, here's a triple feature with Airline Disaster and Airborne with Steve Guttenberg and Crash Landing. I think I reviewed Airborne. That one was pretty bad. Although it was kind of funny to see Steve. It was, I don't know if it was kind of funny. It was hilarious to see Steve Guttenberg play the role that he did in that film. Yeah, The Shepherd, Border Patrol, with Van Damme. It's actually one of his better direct-to-video movies, despite how bored he looks on the cover. Then you have the Pathfinder made-for-TV movie with Kevin Dillon, Graham Greene. Got a film called The Scribbler, which is a superhero movie that nobody fucking talks about, with some really weird-ass fucking cover art. Why the hell is it like this? Like, the only way for you to be able to read the title properly is to flip the DVD like this? Like, this is just stupid. I don't understand. I do not get it. Doesn't make any sense. Then we have Nadine, Jeff Bridges, Kim Basinger. Got Exorcist: The Beginning, the prequel directed by Rennie Harlan. I have Dominion as well somewhere. Got the big red one, the reconstruction, the 2-disc special edition. I don't understand why when this came out they didn't also include the theatrical cut. Like, what the hell? I don't understand this. Warner Brothers had the rights for either version, so just release them both. Like, you have a 2-disc special edition, just have disc 1 and then have disc 2 with the theatrical cut and special features. Like, I don't understand this. It just doesn't make any sense. So if I want to ever see the theatrical cut, I have to buy it separately. That's bullshit. Then we have a film called Isolation. Heard some interesting things about it, actually, but I never really got around to seeing it yet. I got it for like $0.25. I mean, that was a really good deal. 1941 with John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd. I would like to get the Blu-ray, but for right now, I'm okay with the DVD. Got a very obscure horror film, Blood Moon. It has nothing to do with werewolves or anything. I think it's actually more of a thriller than a horror film. I think it's Australian or from New Zealand or something. Yeah, Blood Moon. That's one of the more obscure DVDs I have for sure. Is Blood Moon. And we have Blue Steel with Jamie Lee Curtis, which I watched recently, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really solid thriller. Great psychotic performance by a really underrated great actor in Ron Silver. Clancy Brown also has a role in it where he plays against type and he doesn't really play a bad guy. He plays a detective. You have Eddie Murphy in Delirious. Just hilarious. Just absolutely uproarious, hilarious special. Got a 4-pack with Quicksand, Ticker, Fall Time, and Beyond the Law. Have Dr. Alien, Full Moon film through their cult video releasing portion of their company. Got Necessary Roughness with Scott Bakula. I think this recently got released on Blu-ray. Then you have Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, the special collector's edition. I think I have Up in Smoke, and I think I might have Next Movie, but I don't think I have any of the other Cheech and Chong films. Then you have a triple feature of Chuck Norris films, Hellbound, The Hitman, and Force Vengeance. Force Vengeance has been released on Blu-ray. I have that from Kino Lorber, but Hellbound and The Hitman have not been released on Blu-ray for some reason. I think honestly they would make a fun double feature from Kino Lorber. And speaking of Chuck Norris, picked this up recently from Hamilton Book. It was a good deal, like under $20. Walker, Texas Ranger, seasons 1 through 3. So this has the first 3 seasons of Walker, Texas Ranger. A show I remember seeing bits and pieces of on TV and kind of having some fun with it. And I'm familiar with Conan O'Brien's Walker, Texas Ranger level, lever. I don't know why I said level. What's funny is Conan actually fucked up and said level one time when he was doing the bit. So I think that's pretty fun. I think it's pretty hilarious that I did the same thing. So you have the Walker Texas Ranger lever that he would just pull, and random Walker Texas Ranger clips would start playing out of context. Like a guy who gets trapped in a bear trap and then Walker punches him out. It just seems like a fun show that's just over the top and ridiculous in all the right ways. So back again with some more DVDs. We have Video Nasties, the definitive guide. This is a release from Nucleus, I guess Nucleus Films or some shit. This is 3 discs. It has the original Video Nasties documentary, and then it has like a bunch of trailers. So it's a pretty fun set. It also includes some cool postcards of the cover art, like Driller Killer, Nightmare in a Damaged Brain. You've got I Spit on Your Grave. You've got Cannibal Holocaust, Zombie Flesh Eaters, The Art of the Nasty, which is an advertisement for a Video Nasties artwork book. So yeah, it's a three disc set for part 1, and then there's a part 2, Video Nasties, the definitive guide, part 2, and this has another documentary, and then more trailers. And this also has some more postcards. You've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, got Naked Fist, which I think was under I think it's known as Firecracker in the US. Headless Eyes, Werewolf Woman, and then another advertisement for the book Art of the Nasty. So these are fun to have in your collection if you're a horror fan. Cool artwork as well for the cover art. Then back to the total randomness. We've got Death Wish 5, The Face of Death, the last Death Wish movie featuring Charles Bronson. You've got Short. So this is a disc that has a bunch of short films. Warner Brothers released a fair amount of these. I think this is volume 5. The reason why I got this one is because there's a short that features one of Vin Diesel's earliest films. So this is Short. So this includes the film Short and a bunch of other ones. I haven't watched it yet, but actually I don't even know if it is volume 5. I think this is just, there's 5 shorts. No, there's 6 shorts. So this is volume 5. This is the 5th volume. I wouldn't mind picking up other volumes, but I don't see them anywhere. So I guess that's gonna have to do. We have The Mask, the New Line Platinum series. For the time, this is a pretty good DVD. I mean, in terms of the features and all that kind of stuff. Got Cardiac Arrest. This was a gift for the 80s horror collection. Always loved this cover art. It's very striking. Then you have then we have, sorry, I don't know why I keep saying you. It's not like, oh, you have it. It's like, no, I'm trying to make this a we thing. I don't understand. Sometimes my brain doesn't work. We have Nemesis. This one I legitimately like. I think it's pretty underrated. The Blu-ray, I wouldn't mind getting one of these days, but it doesn't have the original version. It has some bullshit ending, so I'll stick with the DVD for right now. Then we have the Big Bus, one of those big bombs from the 70s, I believe. Got the 4-pack of Deathstalker 1 and 2, Barbarian Queen, and the Warrior and the Sorceress. Got the theatrical version of Daredevil, because I like this film. I've always liked this movie. The director's cut I like too, but I also enjoyed the theatrical version. I think I kept this for the features. That's the main reason why I kept this, is because this is a 2-disc set. I saw this in a theater with my dad, and I enjoyed it then, and I still enjoy it now. I think Daredevil is one of the more underrated Marvel films. I don't think enough people talk about it. It's not anywhere near as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. Then next up is Evil Laugh. This is one of those Lucky 13 releases. Yeah, these releases are super cheap and lame. But this is apparently kind of hard to find. Might not be anymore, because I think Evil Laugh did eventually get a Blu-ray release. I could be wrong, though. I've heard a lot of different stuff that have gotten releases and I never thought would ever get one. But yeah. Evil Laugh. This is one I think I got from Suncoast in Oklahoma City. Got Once Upon a Time in America, the 2-disc special edition. I think I have that on Blu-ray now too, so I might wind up not really tossing that, but I might wind up donating it. Flesh and Blood with Rutger Hauer. We've got The Ice Pirates. It's a fun movie. It's not great, but it's entertaining. Space Herpes. That's one of the main takeaways from that film. We've got the triple feature of the Urban Legend films, Urban Legend's Final Cut, and Bloody Mary. I'm still holding on to this for Bloody Mary because I have the first two on Blu-ray, and I don't really care about having the third film on Blu-ray. I'm not gonna pay an arm and a leg for a box set just to have the third film. Then we have a Lamberto Bava film, Macabre, or Macabre. Then we have Feed, which I talked about already on this channel. I reviewed the film. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on this movie, just search Feed. You should be able to find it. We have Sinjanor, film I saw when I was a teenager. I rented it from Netflix back when Netflix was known only as a DVD rental service. So yeah, Sinjanor. We've got Tales from the Crypt presents Ritual. This fucking thing. Tales from the Crypt film in name only, because Dimension just tacked on some shitty Crypt Keeper puppet footage onto the beginning and the ending and called it a Tales from the Crypt movie. Girls, Guns, and G-Strings. Multi-pack with a ton of Andy Sedaris action films. We have Steven Seagal. Speaking of action, you got Seagal and Marked for Death. I would like to get this on Blu-ray, but the Blu-ray is out of print and expensive. Go figure, huh? Then we have the Full Moon release of Tourist Trap. I have the Blu-ray, but I'm keeping this because I like this cover art. Sometimes I'm kind of a sucker for stuff like that, and I'm keeping it for that reason alone. I don't know why the cover art for the Blu-ray isn't just a poster, but for some reason it is, and it's pretty shitty. Then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell, Turtle Power. This is a complete classic series collection. It's a Walmart pickup. This is everything that my friend Matt was probably waiting for and was hoping that Lionsgate would come out with sooner than they did, but instead they just came out with all these bullshit volumes of each season. One season was even split up into multiple parts just as some cheap excuse to to sucker fans into buying each box so they can get an exclusive action figure. Like, it was a clusterfuck. It was just ridiculous. And then they came out with the Turtle Van set, and I've heard that has issues because of the packaging. And then eventually they come out with this, and it only costs you $25 at Walmart. I mean, I can't even I don't even know how much money my friend Matt or other Turtles fans spent on those individual releases, but it's definitely more than $25. Fucking Lionsgate. Then we have another TV show. In living color, you can do what you wanna do. In living color. This is one of my favorite sketch comedy shows. Irreverent, incredible, hilarious. Yes, these releases are censored. There are some sketches that are missing. There are some music parodies that are missing, but they're still fun, relatively well put together sets from 20th Century Fox. So here's season 2 of In Living Color. One day I would love to talk about this show. I really would, because I really do love In Living Color. I think it's a great show. Great sketch comedy show. In Living Color season 3. Then we have season 4. This is where the quality started to go down a little bit, but I think it's still pretty funny and pretty underrated. Season 4. And then you got season 5, which I know a lot of people hated, critics and fans, but I've also had fun with this too. So season 5 in Living Color, I mean, all 5 seasons have legitimately funny, uproarious segments, so and sketches. So yeah, I definitely do enjoy those films. Just moving some things around. You might see some jump cuts in this video, just to give you a heads up, because of the fact that I'm having to make space for a lot of stuff while I'm recording. We have the Addams Family animated film. I still haven't seen this yet. There was a sequel that came out recently that nobody fucking remembers anymore. I don't think a lot of people even remember this. So yeah, the Addams Family animated film. Got Loose Cannons with Gene Hackman and Dan Aykroyd. What a weird movie this is. Already reviewed it. Yes, that is Andy Dick on the cover, and he's not in the film. Have a 70s blaxploitation film, Hitman, with Bernie Casey as the star. Got a horror film from Code Red called Night of the Dribbler. Yeah, Night of the fucking Dribbler. Guy wearing a stupid basketball mask. God, the slasher genre was a joke during the late 80s. Got Blood Moon. Some honestly really well done cover art. I think it's a pretty nice looking poster. Got the double feature of The Evil and Twice Dead from Shout Factory. Still has the buyback sticker on it because this is when they were near their end and they cheaped out on the stickers and they were using cheap ass stickers that were a pain in the ass to take off. So I just said fuck it and I didn't even do anything with it. I know both of these have been released on Blu-ray, but Twice Dead is out of print. And I don't think it's like an amazing film enough to the point where I want to spend some insane amount of money where I might as well be twice dead in order to obtain it. So I'm fine with the DVD with The Evil, which is a fun haunted house movie, actually. We have Live Free, Die Hard, the unrated version. It's the only way for me to really have it, because I'm not going to buy another Blu-ray set just for the unrated cut. That's stupid. I don't know why Fox never released it separately. Just release another Blu-ray of Live Free or Die Hard. Or better yet, Fox, release a box set of all 4 Die Hard films in 4K. Why the hell is Die Hard 2 and 3 only available to see in 4K on Disney+? What the fuck is that shit? So, yeah, and this slipcover, I mean, shiny, kind of, but all this fucking junk. This digital copy shit, just a mess. It's a mess. It's an eyesore. Got a double feature of 2 films, Blind Fear and Bone Daddy. Got The Chinese Box with Jeremy Irons, Gong Li. Got a Revenge of the Nerds triple pack. I reviewed all 3 of these films. If you want to hear my thoughts on those, go ahead and look those up. Another Gary Daniels film, Hawk's Vengeance, which I don't think was actually the title in the US. I could be wrong, though. Have a double feature of a film called Fear and Parents. Fear is a really underrated film with Ali Sheedy that I think should be talked about a lot more. And I think the only way to get it is in this double pack or in some separate release that's out of print. I would love to get that. Kino Lorber, please come out with a release of the Ali Sheedy Fear on Blu-ray. I would buy it. Probably not the only one. I mean, Rockney S. Bannon wrote and directed it. And you got Ali Sheedy, Lauren Hutton, Michael O'Keefe, Henry Mancini did the score. Parents already has a release, and it's okay, but I'm glad I have that just for Fear. That was a blind buy, and I didn't really know much about either of those films. And Fear really took me by surprise. I really like that film. It's honestly one of my favorite thrillers of the 90s. I've showed these in another video, but fairly recently, but Trinity is still my name, and They Call Me Trinity. Have a film called Cold and Dark, which I still haven't seen yet, but has a really interesting concept. It's like body horror mixed with a cop thriller. Yeah, Cold and Dark. The Kitchen. I saw this and I liked this. I legitimately liked this movie. I didn't think it was as bad as critics made it out to be. That was a pretty good drama. Some good performances, good direction. There were some moments with the writing, which I thought was not really the best. But overall, I liked the film. I think Melissa McCarthy at this point is better when she's just trying to play a serious role. But even then, she's kind of hit and miss. Because I saw like this film called Will You Ever Forgive Me? And that had a lot of potential to be a legitimately great performance by her. But she threw in her typical Melissa McCarthy shtick in there, and it just came across as half-assed. We have Thirst, Synapse release. I think it definitely has a Blu-ray, but I'm okay with the DVD. I'm okay with the DVD for right now. Then we have One Down, Two to Go, Anchor Bay release, and okay, these are the last 2 stacks, and that'll be it for part 1. I did intend for each part to be fairly long, because I feel like with this kind of thing, you should go big or go home. Like, there's really no point to do a video in like 30 minutes. Like, this is supposed to be kind of like sit back, chill, and relax kind of series of videos. So, next up we have Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, the classic. This is the 2-disc special edition. We have another series of classic films, double feature of Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and the original Fantastic Voyage, which I have on Blu-ray, but I did not upgrade Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. We have Mallrats, the collector's edition. Honestly, I've always liked this poster. I think this is one of the theatrical posters. And I would like to get the Blu-ray from Era Video, but for right now, I'm okay with the DVD. Have a film featuring Alec Baldwin called Heaven's Prisoners, with Terry Hatcher as well. I know Alec Baldwin's under fire, no pun intended. And I get it. I think there's there's 2 sides to the story when it comes to what happened on the set of Rust. I'm not one of those people that's going to 100% blame him. I don't think that's fair. That's like blaming the producers and everyone who was on the set of The Crow or Michael Massey for killing Brandon Lee. I think that's kind of fucked up and shitty, to be honest. No matter how you feel about Alec Baldwin or his politics, this is a situation where it's not just one person who's involved when it comes to what happened. When something like that happens on a set of a film, there were multiple different things that have to fall into place for some kind of tragedy of that magnitude to occur. So it's not just one of those things where Alec Baldwin was just the complete and utter reason for why those people were killed, and it was his fault. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. It's not one of those instances to me that's in the same vein as John Landis on the set of The Twilight Zone. Seems like there's a lot of other things that were at play. But at the same time, it is kind of similar in the way that there were a lot of things that could have been done to prevent it from other people that weren't necessarily at the top of the production chain in terms of who's in charge, that could have done something to prevent that from happening, and they didn't. So, sucks, but it's just one of those things. When stuff like that happens, I know it's easy for us to just blame one person and play the blame game and just lay all the blame at their feet, but I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's that simple. Getting back on track, we have a film called Flashfire with Billy Zane and Lou Gossett Jr. Then we have Sweet Evil from Bridget Wilson, a femme fatale film. Yes, that's a samurai sword. I reviewed this, I think, a long time ago. Really what it is, it's Bridget Wilson's take on The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. I had some fun with it, but it's not the best. Betrayed with Tom Berenger, Deborah Winger. I think I did get the Blu-ray of this. I think I did. Yeah, I did. I think I do. I think I do have the Blu-ray somewhere because it's an Olive Films release. But I legitimately like this film. I think it's a really good thriller, and has a great performance by Tom Berenger. That being said, I did get a comment that really disturbed me on my review of this film, where essentially there was some racist commenter who was talking about, oh, I really like this movie, and I wish you could actually chase them in real life. Like, the best part of the film was when they were chased down, hunted down like dogs. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, I did not make that video to have that kind of commentary underneath it and about this film. I'm still going to appreciate and like this movie despite that kind of shit, but fuck. I mean, Jesus. So, yeah, Betrayed got Porco Rosso. Reviewed this as well. It was a fun animated movie. It was an anime, Studio Ghibli. The English version featured Michael Keaton as the voice of Porco Rosso. You've got Kroll, special edition. The reason why I'm keeping this DVD is because the special features are only on this DVD. Mill Creek did not port over the features to the Blu-ray, and I don't even think I don't know if 101 Films did release overseas or some other company. This is something, come on, Arrow. This screams an Arrow Video Collector's Edition. Like, if you're gonna do Legend, like, you should be doing, please do Kroll. Please do Kroll Arrow with special features and the other features from this DVD ported over and a new remastered picture and sound. Like, please. Because that film is too good and too much fun to just be relegated to Mill Creek Entertainment. Here we have Dark Shadows, the revival, the reboot of Dark Shadows that only lasted for like a season with Ben Cross. It was only 12 episodes. And I think it was like late 80s or something. And it's not as fondly remembered as the original. This cover art, though, is laughable. It's fucking silly as hell. Like, what the fuck is that? The fucking moon with the angry vampire face. It was stupid. I mean, can you imagine if I did this video going... You'd be like... Maybe that'll be the thumbnail. Oh, shit. We got the other hell. And we have the house on the edge of the park. I also have, I think I have this on Blu-ray as well in a double feature. But yeah, this is the DVD. I'm keeping this DVD because I legitimately like this cover art. I think it's actually pretty eye-catching. We have a film called Invader. I remember this being pretty lame, but I also remember having some fun with it in terms of the stop motion effects. Got a movie called Good Luck with Gregory Hines and Vincent D'Onofrio. We've got Glory, special edition. I have that on Blu-ray. We have Whisper Kill with Lonnie Anderson, Joe Penny. Got drama and a bit of a thriller. Benefit of the Doubt, Donald Sutherland. That was pretty decent. Donald Sutherland does a great job playing a real scumbag in that film. We've got the box set of Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future, the complete series. And this has a documentary about the making of the series called Out of the Ashes. A little short about what season 2 could have been. The original TV film. Cast and crew commentary at some episodes. It's remastered. So if you're a fan of this show, like this is the release to get. I bought this, I think, brand new from I think it was Amazon or some shit. Yeah, this is. I think now it's a little easier to find, but for a certain point, it was not. You could not find it. Like, it was really expensive and hard to get. This show's fun. It's cheesy, but it's fun. It's a fun show. So that's Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future. Speaking of cheesy but fun shows, Goosebumps, the complete collection. Because for some reason in the United States, there was never really a official box set of the full series. There was only DVDs that had a few episodes here and there. I don't get it. But overseas, you did get box sets that had the whole series. And I got this from Zavi a long time ago. Like a couple of years, 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years ago. And this is like one of the first purchases I made on Zavi. I think it actually might have been my first purchase. And yeah, it's definitely the whole series. Decent enough quality. No features, but, it is what it is. I grew up watching this show, and I also grew up reading the books, like a lot of other my kids did, who grew up in the 90s. But this is region locked, by the way, so if you don't have a region-free player, you can't play it. But you can play it with your computer. Because if you have a PC and you download the VLC media player, you can watch anything. I mean, really, region locks don't exist when it comes to DVDs if you're watching them on your PC. And got some more TV shows here. We've got the 90s X-Men series. One of my favorite animated shows. Yeah, X-Men Volume 1. We've got X-Men Volume 2. I remember when I first saw these for sale, I thought they weren't actually the animated series because of the misleading, weird marketing. It just says DVD comic book collection, so I just thought this was comics. I didn't even think this was actually X-Men the animated series. But it wasn't until later that I realized that. So Volume 1 and 2, Volume 3, featuring the Dark Phoenix. Honestly, my favorite arc of the show. Then we have Volume 4, which for some reason is crazy expensive. Like Volumes 1 through 3. Well, 3 is kind of hard to find too, but Volume 4 for some reason is crazy expensive. And then we have Volume 5. I mean, I am kind of... I'm a little peeved that I don't have the Volume 4 with the slipcover, but I can get over that because I didn't pay nearly as much for any of these compared to what they were going for on eBay. So I will deal with that. I'll take it. Then we got Jackass the box set. It's fun, but it's not. It's disappointing because there's so many things that are missing from this set. So it's kind of a... It's honestly not kind of. It is a letdown. We've got RoboCop Prime Directives. This features Dark Justice, Meltdown, Resurrection, Crash and Burn. This is an overseas release. But it is region free. Even though it says 18, it's region free. You got Dark Justice. This show is fucking ridiculous. Paige Fletcher and his robo midget ass. And yes, I know. Still haven't talked about these films. One of these days I will. And Alpha Commando, and do another video on the maybe another review of the. I think I've already said my piece on the remake. I did a commentary track. I don't know if I really want to do anything else. But yeah, RoboCop Prime Directives. We've got American Graffiti, Harley Davidson, and the Marlboro Man. Had some fun with this. I wouldn't mind getting it on Blu-ray, but only for the right price because it's bare bones. Desperate Measures with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton steals the fucking show. Like, Michael Keaton is really good in this as McCabe, but the rest of it's kind of just there. We've got SWAT. I actually didn't mind this film. It's been pretty forgotten about if you think about it. Not a lot of people really talk about this film anymore. I remember seeing it at the drive-in theater of all things. But yeah, I actually didn't mind that film. This really cheap jacked double feature, Revolt of Horror and Frightmare, with VHS quality transfers of both films. Being a Frightmare, I really am kind of curious about that movie. It's also known as a Horror Star. I need to pick that up, Blu-ray up sometime from Vinegar Syndrome. 2-disc DVD of Stakeland. Yeah, I remember not really being a fan of that film. Got Exo Squad Season 1. This is a really underrated animated series that nobody fucking talks about, and it's a shame. It honestly is quite good. I remember even having some of the toys, and sucks that Season 2 is unavailable on DVD. It was a show that was ahead of its time. It was an animated show that had a lot of adult themes and was written in a way that was straightforward, serious sci-fi. It wasn't just for kids. That's why it holds up so well. Got King Cobra, 30 Feet of Pure Terror. This film is pretty lame, but I remember seeing this with my dad on VHS, along with Anaconda, so I have some nostalgia for that film. Got Miami Connection, one of those so bad it's good movies. Fun soundtrack too. Frailty, I need to get a better copy. This is in really frail condition. That fucking sticker from Value Village. I hate these fucking things. Can never get them off. Value Village, I miss you. I wish you were still around, because there was a local Value Village and I used to go there a lot, and I would get some good titles and some good stuff over there. But fuck, I hated those stickers. I hate those stickers so much. Anchor Bay release of a film called Escape 2000. It's also known as Turkey Shoot. Got Ryan Gosling in Drive. I think I was considering getting this on Blu-ray, but I haven't yet because I think I was waiting for the 4K. And did the 4K come out? Because I remember reading something about a 4K release of this film. Need to look that up after this video. So in Drive, we have Drive Angry with Nicolas Cage. It's not the 3D version, but I remember it actually being kind of fun. We have another classic film here, Duel. Really where Steven Spielberg really made his mark as a director. Better look at the cover without the slipcover. It's honestly pretty shitty. The film is way better than this cover makes it out to be. I mean, the film is actually a really solid made-for-TV thriller, and the fucking cover art is just awful. Dirty Dancing, the Ultimate Edition. I mean, I love the film, but I don't mind it for Patrick Swayze. Got a comedy called The Darwin Awards. This is a fun black comedy. It's not as funny as it could be, but I still enjoy the film. It's based on this popular web series and website about these real life cases of people being stupid and killing themselves in the most ridiculous fashion. Prior to A Thousand Ways to Die, you had the Darwin Awards and stuff like that. And A Thousand Ways to Die, I legitimately enjoy that show. It's morbid, it's fucked up, but it's entertaining, and I would love to have a complete set of that show. I don't know if anybody watching remembers that show. I remember that show quite a bit. I used to watch that all the time on Spike TV. We have Johnny Mnemonic. I would get the Blu-ray, but it's out of print and crazy expensive. So I guess for right now, I'm just going to stick with the Blu-ray. And, I mean, the DVD. See, I want the Blu-ray so much that I'm talking about. I'm really trying to act like I have it. Because I really want it, but no. This has aged so well. Life is different in the 21st century. No, it isn't. It's not that different at all. And you do get room service and all those other things. That's such a weird... So it's set up like this. Okay, it looks like Johnny Mnemonic. And then on the back it's his head with a critic review. And then there's this. Life is different in the 21st century, but dying is still the same. What the fuck? It's kind of fitting for a what the fuck movie. Honestly, Johnny Mnemonic is ripe for a collector's edition from like Scream Factory or Shout Factory or some shit. I'd buy it. Fucking Arrow Video, do it. Do Johnny Mnemonic. Make it like the VHS where the disc is like bright orange, and like the slipcover is like see-through. Got a film called Joe and Max, based on a true story. You've got, I've got, God damn it, again with you. Thank you for being here and watching this video, but fuck. Octopus 2, Crocodile, and Blood Surf. Got this from a store that's no longer around here called Gameplay. 8-pack I got from Walmart because I wanted... I think it was because I wanted Renegades or Gotcha or whatever. I forgot exactly why I got this. I think it was because I wanted one of these titles and I didn't have it. But now most of these are getting Blu-ray releases and I'd rather just get those. They have an Image Entertainment release of a film called Raiders of the Living Dead. Not subtle at all with the ripoff of Raiders of the Lost Ark, are ya? This is the Image Entertainment release. It was only $1. I got it at buybacks when they were just getting rid of like a ton of DVDs and just marking them down for $1. And I got titles like that. as well as out of print titles that have only been released on DVD, as far as I know, like Sword and the Sorcerer. Have this film called Frozen. Pretty interesting thriller. A lot of people have completely forgotten about it. Most of it, I will take that Frozen. You know, you can keep the Disney movie. I don't really give a shit about that. I'm gonna take that Frozen. Horseman with Dennis Quaid, because I love the Quaid. I'm a huge fan of his. Eye of the Eagle. I think it's Roger Corman. Yeah, New Concord production. You got Robin Williams and Good Morning Vietnam. And then just round it out with 3 more titles here. We have Dreamhouse with Daniel Craig. We have the original, The Producers, with Gene Wilder. And last but not least for this first installment, Frostbiter, the director's cut. Hell has frozen over. Trauma release. Got it from a thrift store that I think that thrift store is still around. It just moved to a different location and now it's a bigger store. Yeah, it is still around. It just moved to a different location. It's a bigger store now, and the prices are actually cheaper and even better. Crazy enough. But yeah, that's part 1 of my DVD collection. I hope you enjoyed the video. Flubs and blubs and all. I don't even know what the fuck a blub is. But at this point, you can tell that I'm running on empty and I am low on gas, low on energy. But thanks for watching regardless. I hope you enjoyed the video. And yes, I will return with more reviews and more stuff, hopefully in the near future. For those of you who have kept tabs on me and have reached out to me and said a lot of nice things and gave me a lot of words of encouragement. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. It means a lot to me. And you're a big reason why I'm able to make it through right now and just try to persevere the best that I can going forward. But anyway, enough blabbing, enough talking. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you later. See ya.